Hey everybody, Cody with Princess Craft RV. Come along with me today as we do our technical walkthrough on our 2026 Eagle Cap 1165. That's right, the Eagle Cap 1165. It's back, it's big, and it's a triple slide. So let's start right here on this side. We've got our kitchen slide out here. It's going to have our refrigerator access on the back of it, as well as our vent hood. It's going to have two lock latches up in there to open that up when you're using your vent hood. Make sure you get that snap shut for travel just by reaching up in there and pushing those closed. Now to get in here for the back side of your refrigerator, you're just going to twist these latches, and then you're going to put your fingers up in the grate and you're just going to pull out, and that's going to pop right off. Now in here, really what you want to do is get in here periodically, clean it, make sure there's no cobwebs or anything like that going on, nest buildup, all that stuff could affect operation of it. So you want to make sure and just keep this cleaned out. There is some visuals that you can check if you're trying to run on LP gas. You can peek back into this corner behind this shield here, make sure that burner's actually lit when you're trying to run on LP gas. You've also got your 110 plug over here on the side. Make sure that doesn't get knocked out while you're in here working. And you've got your control board. There are some fuses and things in there that you may need to replace if you blow one, or if you just need to get in for service checks if you're on the phone with tech support or something like that. To put this cover back on, we're just going to take these slots right here to line all that up. Make sure with these latches that they get lined up. These can be a little finicky sometimes to get them popped in all the way, but you want to make sure you get them all the way in there. Once you get it seated, make sure you twist those latches. It spreads those little jaws open in there and actually holds this in place. If you don't do that, this will fly off while you're going down the road. All right, let's keep on trucking here. So on this side, we've got our freshwater fill. So we're gonna just take the cap off here, take our water hose, put it in there until it washes back out, or you can check your monitor panel if you don't wanna carry a full tank to figure out how much water you've got on board. Now you're gonna use the water pump to access this water. So this is what you're gonna use if you're not hooked up to city water. It's gonna be a key lock access there. This is where our city water is gonna hook up. So you're just going to pull the little dust cover out of the way. This is where you're going to hook up with your RV drinking safe water hose, water filter, and a pressure regulator to protect your system. That's just going to thread on there, and then that's going to provide all of the water to the camper. We've got your outside shower here, hot and cold water. Shower head can store on this little spot right here so you can support it so you don't have to hold it. And it is also going to be a key lock. Up here we've got your water heater. It's going to be a 6-gallon gas-only water heater. This is going to be your anode rod, right? So these need to come out periodically for inspection. This is also your drain plug for the water heater. So you are going to remove this anode rod, allow that to drain out when it's in storage, when you're getting ready for winterization, and get it all good and drained out. Perfect time to inspect. As you can see, there is a little spot right in the middle here that is a rod that all of this is attached to, and as this wears, that rod becomes more exposed. And usually about 50%, once I can usually see about 50% of that skinny rod down the middle, I'll think about replacing that. All right, so our Eagle Cap 1165 is equipped with the Happy Jack 4820 electric jacks. Got our motor on board. We are also equipped with our swing outs for our big dually trucks, because that's what you're going to need to haul this thing. And so once this is loaded, you push up on this little button right here, and that allows this arm to swing in for your overall width, so you get back closer to the truck. Anytime you're loaded, and I do swing these in, I always open that back passenger door carefully just to make sure it's not going to hit. Once you know it's clear, you're good. Manual operation, just in case you do have a motor failure. You're going to flip this little lever right here, pop off your cap, and then you're going to have a crank handle that goes in here so you can manually crank your jacks up and down depending on where you need to go with them to keep camping so you're not just stuck. Now underneath we do have two front compartments here. Inside of these are going to be more of a service access. You can see you've got your tank sensors mounted right here, so they're externally mounted. It's a little different system than what others are using out there, so they shouldn't be affected by your toilet products and things that may get stuck on the inside of the tank. You shouldn't have some of that issue with these type of sensors. So if you do choose to store anything in here, just be careful. You really don't want a lot of weight on this tank or anything like that. You don't want to break anything loose. So just be real cautious about what you put in here so you don't damage anything. All right, moving on down our driver's side here. On the side of the slide, we do have two external storage compartments here that can open up. Going to be magnetic latches on all of these to hold them up out of your way. A little bit of storage in there for you. Now underneath, we do have a couple things. Your 7-way is going to come out on the driver's side here in the rear. And this is what's going to run down and either plug in the bed of your truck or at your bumper, depending on your setup. That's what's going to run all of your lights on the camper, your clearance lights, turn signals, brake lights, to keep you nice and safe while you're cruising. Just behind this slide, we do have our Dometic furnace. Furnace exhaust here is going to get hot while you're running your furnace. So watch out for fingers and putting anything around it that could get hot and melt. We've got your exterior cable port hookup here for park cable. We've got your black tank flush. This is not your city water connection on this one, so don't hook your city water up here thinking you're going to get pressurized inside. It's going to eventually fill up your black tank and give you a load of other issues if you're not paying attention. So when you're done camping, you've dumped your black tank and you want to rinse it, make sure it's all good and clean. You're going to hook up right here, not with your freshwater hose. You want to have a separate hose that you use for this, just for chances of cross-contamination. We don't want any of that. So you're going to hook up here. No need for a pressure regulator. We want as much volume and as much pressure going into that as we can. It's going to run in, it's going to spray kind of a shower pattern inside your black tank and help rinse the sidewalls and everything and get stuff rinsed out that maybe didn't come down with normal flushing. This is going to be a 30 amp connection, standard 30 amp twist lock connection. Line up your prongs, little twist on, and then lock your lock ring down. Make sure you get a good snug connection there. We don't want heat buildup or arcing that could cause plug failure. We are equipped on this model with the Onan 2500 ILP generator. So this is going to be the inverter series. It's going to run real quiet. It's going to run on propane and can operate your air conditioner on this unit. So you have access if you're off-grid camping to be able to run that. Has a remote start on the inside, and follow the maintenance schedule on this, break-in periods, anything like that. Exhaust comes out here, and then this is going to be our sewer dump, where we're going to be able to dump our gray tank and our black tank. The valves for those, or the pull handles, excuse me, are going to be in the center rear compartment under our rear slide. So in here, we've got our two dump handles right here, body waste and liquid waste. So body waste has a black handle on it. It's also going to be our body waste, which is our toilet, and our gray or our liquid waste will be our sink and our showers. Also in here we have our main battery disconnect switch. So it's a push-pull switch. Push it in, shut your batteries off, pull it out, turns the power on. You'll see all of these control boards back here in the back. The three on the wall are going to be each one for your slides. And then we've got the one mounted to the ceiling, which is going to be for your camper jacks. Now there are fuses on the one mounted to the ceiling for the camper jacks. And then there are also some resettable breakers mounted up in here. We've got your low point drains on this wall over here, hot and cold low point drains. And you do have a slide out storage tray, so this is a good place to store your power cord. We've got your manual crank handle for your jacks if that is needed. To the left of that compartment is where your battery will go, or batteries, depending on what'll fit and how many you want to put in there. We've got all your cables in there labeled and straps ready to go. On the other side, we've got your two 30-pound propane cylinders that are held in place with a crossbar and a wing nut that you got to kind of reach over to get to. and then you tip the front tank out, take that threaded rod out of the way, and then you can get that rear tank out. So that's how these work. It's a changeover regulator with a valve, with a control lever on top to select your cylinders. All right, mounted to your rear slide is going to be your roof access ladder. Now this ladder can only be accessed when the rear slide is all the way in. To get this down, you're going to flip up on the lever here. This section is going to come down, and when it comes down, it's going to pop into these little rubber receivers right here on the body of the camper. Now if you climb on it with it extended like this, it puts a lot of stress on the camper, puts a lot of stress on the ladder, and then you got to figure out how to climb over your slide topper. So not recommended. Okay, I think we've covered our exterior. Let's check out the inside. Here we are inside our 2026 Eagle Cap 1165. Just inside the entry door, we've got a host of switches here. And let's just take it from the top. The very top one is our illuminated red switch. This is going to be for the awning strip that's on the roller tube of the awning. So once the awning is all the way extended, there's going to be an LED strip running the full length of the awning. And when you flip that on, that's going to provide that power to that light strip. Next switch down is going to be our awning switch, in and out. So just as that, so you're going to push and hold for the out position to run the awning out to your desired distance, or all the way out, and in to get it retracted all the way in. The next three switches are going to be for our three slides. Being that this is a LCI system, so you're going to want to run these systems, you want to generally run them full distance. You don't want to do short runs, so all the way in or all the way out, to help keep them in time. So you're just going to push and hold, run it all the way in until it stops on its own. You'll kind of hear the motor like let go. And same thing when you're going out, push and hold until it goes all the way out, and then it'll stop on its own, and that's where you'll want to be with it. Fire extinguisher down here, it's got a gauge on it. Check it, make sure it stays in the green, and if it does not, or it becomes expired, replace it. And then just in the little step pan down here, we have your holster for your electronic remote for your electric jacks. So jack activation and operation, you're going to push the center two buttons, and then you're going to push the top two buttons. It's going to wake the remote up, and now you can run your jacks. The center two buttons run all four jacks together, and then the rest of the remote is set up like you're sitting in your driver's seat of your truck. So this is going to be your driver's front or left front, right front, left rear, right rear, and you can run your sides together like this. You can run your rears together or your fronts together. You just cannot run across the camper at the same time. So that's how that works. Moving into our kitchen here, we've got our Dometic refrigerator. Just a freezer and refrigerator. Controls are up top here, on and off button there. And then you've got your auto light or check light. So if that switch is in the out position, it's always going to operate on gas, and you push it in, that auto light should come on. If it's in the auto position, it's going to automatically switch between 120 electric or LP gas, whatever is available. So if you're plugged in at a campground, power goes out, it's going to automatically switch over to LP gas and keep everything running for you. So pretty basic setup on that. We've got our High Point microwave over here. It is just a standard microwave. Set your time, cook your food, good to go. Furrion vent hood with a light and fan. You do have a grease guard in here that you're going to want to pop down. So two little levers there to release it and get you into your grease guard. Pull that out, clean it with, warm soapy water. Make sure it's completely dried and rinsed and everything before you put it back in. Put it back in place, and then reinstall this. Okay, we've got our 3-burner cooktop with a glass cover. So one thing about the glass is it needs to be fully opened for use. It's not a hot plate or anything like that. Make sure it is open before you fire any burners up, and make sure your burners are cold before you close it down. To open it, you're just going to fold the front section over the back, and then we're going to fold it all up again, and that's going to kind of help also create a backsplash for our cooking. To do our lighting, we're just going to take our knob, you're going to push it in, and you're going to turn to the igniter position here, so it's a little electric bolt. Continue to hold that in while you rotate your sparker, and once that is lit, hold that in for just a few more seconds, and then you should be able to let out and it should stay going. Backlighting, so you've got your knob backlighting here with the switch in the up position, and then you've got your oven light if you push the switch into the down position. Now to light your oven, you are going to use, again, we're going to use the igniter. So if you read here, it says push and hold. So you want to find like that spot where the knob will push in. You're going to push in, and then again, you're going to use that igniter until that pilot lights. Hold it for a few seconds. When you let out on that pilot should continue to burn. As long as it does, you're good to go. You can then set your desired temperature, and the rest of the burner will light up, and then you can cook. Got a couple of pantry cabinets here. We've got our Jensen 12-volt TV hanging right over our kitchen sink here. So power at all times, so you can watch on the batteries and do whatever if you're off-grid camping. Doesn't require 110 power, just a basic television. Down at our sink, Eagle Cap does equip with a special water filtration system for drinking water. So that filter goes underneath the kitchen sink, and then this is what you would use for your drinking water. Hot and cold spray faucet here. Nice big dual bin sink with some cutting board covers there, and a host of drawers over here as well. So a nice laid out kitchen. On the end here, underneath our counter, we do have a few more switches. The first switch here is going to be for our ceiling overhead lighting LED strips that are also attached to a dimmer. So you can dim those down. You do not have to have them at full brightness. We have our Onan remote start. So this is to start our generator from in here with an hour meter. And then we've got our monitor panel to check our battery, fresh black and gray tank levels. Water heater on off. Water pump on off. So if it's backlit, we're running on our water pump. Again, that is only needed if we're pulling water out of our freshwater tank, not hooked to city water with a water hose. Security light, this is going to be our light just outside. And then we've got our porch light. This little cover down here, this is not a storage area. This is going to be for some service access and some fresh air ventilation stuff going on. So it is a great, don't block it, don't remove it, and store stuff in there and put it back on. All right, making headway here, moving into our rear slide. In this floor plan, this is going to be your movie theater seating, I guess you would call it, or recliners, whatever you want to call it here. You're just going to take a seat. And if you reach down with your left hand on this seat, right hand on this seat, you're going to find a lever. And that's what's going to pop out your footrest. To put that away, you're just going to give it a little tug on that lever and then push in, make sure it seats. And then you've got your tray table here to put your drinks and stuff on. One cool thing that they have done here is they put little magnets on the wall, or receivers for the magnets, that allow this to store nicely against the wall. You'll see the magnet right here on the tray top. You're just going to swing that around and line it up, and that helps hold it nicely against the wall while you're traveling or just out of the way, so you don't have to worry about them swinging around and hitting things. So I thought that was done really nicely. All of your shades in here are going to be the accordion style pull downs. You've got just the one shade on them that's going to help knock out some of the light. The rear window is not openable on this one. This one over here, this little short window, is going to be a crank out style. So you just rotate the knob until the bottom just kicks out. And moving on into our dinette, we do have a couple of storage drawers underneath. These are held closed with magnets while you're in travel, one on each side. These windows are also crank out. So again, you just rotate this knob. and they open up. And then crank them closed. Accordion shade. And your overhead light here is going to be a push button. And now this table is obviously your dinette, but it also makes into an additional sleeping space. So let's kind of go over how that works. All right, so to make this into your optional sleeping space, first thing you're going to want to do is reach underneath. There's a little lever that we just need to open up. That lever keeps this from accidentally being pushed down while you're sitting and eating at it. So we're just going to rotate this lever, and that's going to allow us to push down on this. And once it's down, you're going to reach under, rotate that lever back closed, and then you're going to position your cushions. We're going to pull our top back piece cushions out, and these are going to slide right in just like that. Very simple and quick with this setup on how to make this into an additional sleeping area. Putting it back up is just the reverse. We're going to pop our cushions out, tuck those back in out of the way, reach underneath, rotate that latch, pull up on it gently, let it come all the way up, put that latch back in place, just give it a push down, make sure it doesn't go, and you're good. 110 outlet and a charge port back here. We've got your just standard cigarette lighter style and a dual USB-A charge connection back here. On the back side of our kitchen, we do have your Jensen radio. It's going to be your DVD player, it's going to be your CD player, it's going to be your AFM radio. It's going to do all your things. We do have another 110 outlet here. Down by the floor, we've got your LPCO alarm, and then we've got your power distribution panel here. Inside, it's got your 110 breakers across the top, 12-volt fuses down the left side, and you got everything labeled here in the door so you know what they go to. Now this is a lithium switch capable, so if you wanted to upgrade to lithium batteries, the converter is capable of doing that and charging those correctly. So already ready to go. Go Power solar controller. So this unit is equipped with some solar on the roof already. So once everything is all hooked up, this is going to give you your solar data, tell you how much your production you got going on, some battery status, all of that good information. Your TV, one thing I did not mention about it, can swing out. So you just pull down on that lever. And so if you're sitting over here at the dinette, you can swing this around. Now, if you take a look here at the back, you could keep going. I'm not sure what purpose it would serve you, but with your wire setup here and the way everything is connected, it should be good. The wires are nice and secured, but just as you're moving things around, make sure you don't snag wires and rip them loose and pull them out of the connections or anything like that. To put it away, just swing it back in. Make sure you get that pin locked so it doesn't bounce around and swing around while you're driving. Moving back, got a nice large wardrobe here with 2 drawers underneath. Let's check out our bathroom. Nice large dry bath for a truck camper. We've got just hot and cold faucet, got some not really storage underneath the sink here. It's going to be more for service access, but you could fit some stuff down in there. You just have to organize it correctly. We've got a drawer. We've got your GFCI outlet in here. So if you're having some 110 outlet problems, check that. Make sure it's not tripped. And we've got your pull-out rack in here. So you can get some stuff back in there. Great use of space to be able to get more in here and have it accessible. Toilet with a foot flush, so halfway down on the pedal is going to put water in the bowl. All the way down is going to allow that bowl to flush and run water down into your black tank. Now there's a removable panel here on the wall that's going to be for some service access, anything to the back side of the TV or anything like that that may need to be gotten into back there. So the shower head height is adjustable. There's a little button on the back side. You just push it in and then you can slide this up and down. Shower has like the shoulder expansion rod, so to tip this away, you're just gonna tuck one side in and then the other side, and that's going to allow that to give you more room out here when you're not showering. And then when you are showering, you're going to tip that out. It gives you more shoulder room in the shower. Makes it feel much larger than it actually is. It's great. Overhead lighting, just a little push button here for your lighting in here. All right, we are almost done here. All we've got left is our bedroom. One thing I really like about the 1165 is the height up into the bedroom is very low. Some of them are pretty high. This one's very low, so it's easy to get into. And coming in here, first things first, we've got our thermostat control for our air conditioner and furnace. So operation, you can see we've got our room temp, and then we've got our mode selection, fan selection. First thing you're going to do is you're going to push that button to wake it up, and then you're going to push it again. You're going to select your mode by rotating the knob. Once you find your current selection that you want, you're going to push again. It's going to take you to your fan selection. Again, choose off, high, low, and then push again, and then the operation will start based on what you selected. So up in here we do have our wardrobe. It's got sliding doors on it with a mirror. These are going to be held closed again with a magnet. So just like that. A little storage drawer on the side over there. On this side of the wardrobe, we do have a 110 outlet with a charge port, just like in our dinette booth. So it's got the cigarette lighter style with dual USB-A. We do have push button lights overhead in the, I don't know, I like to call this a bookshelf. I don't know what you keep up there, but I guess books would work. And then we do have another little cabinet with drawers over here on the side. We've got our fire exit window here. Grab that red tab, yank the screen off, grab your handle here, then you're going to just push this out. This will push all the way through and allow that window to swing freely open, but it can also be used for ventilation just as it is right here, just by sitting and resting on that latch. Overhead, we do have a large skylight that has your day and night shade in it, so you can choose that, and then it can also open up for ventilation as well. We have another 12-volt TV mounted to the wall in here with all the same features as the one in the kitchen space. And we've got LED strip lighting on the roof again with a switch with a dimmer mounted right behind the TV. And I think that covers our bedroom. All right, guys, thanks for tagging along with me as we went through our 2026 Eagle Cap 1165. Now, if you have more questions or I have missed anything, don't hesitate to pick up the phone and give us a call. Check us out at princesscraft.com or come see us in person in Katy, Texas or Round Rock, Texas.